Hi, I'm YaYa, and I want to welcome you to the Beginners Playlist, the best easy watercolor tutorials on YouTube. If you've ever wanted to try watercolor but you didn't know where to start, like me, you are in the right place. Today is all about brush strokes, so let's dive in. So what are we going to cover today? First of all, we're going to do something fun with your paintings because you've been practicing some drills. We're going to talk a little bit about how to clean your brushes when you're done. And then as always, we're going to get right to the best videos. Okay, let's do something fun with your paintings. This is a painting I did, and I did it with metallic paint just to be fun. But all of these are brush strokes that you have either learned in the last 2 episodes or you're learning them in this episode. And it's simply leaves and some stems. Because it was such light colors, I did do a little bit of what's called mixed media, and we're going to talk about that in the next episode, episode 4. So there's some ink on here just to give a little definition to some of the leaves and not all the leaves. And basically, it's just an example of what you can do with your brush strokes that you know. So what I have is I've gotten corners from Amazon. They're called photo corners, and the links for all this will be down below. And I have an envelope, which I usually like to put a little thing on just to match my card. It classes it up a little bit. And the cards. And the cards are actually from Walmart, and the link for that is below too. Very simple. You get your painting. And for me, the easiest way to put it on is put your corners on first. Don't try to put the corners on and then fit your picture into them. Well, you can if you're brave, but I'm not that brave. So we'll get our 4 corners on. And I just make sure that they're on straight. Push the edges without touching the adhesive on the back. And then basically you're just going to try and center it over your card and push down. And that's it. How easy can it be to make a card? And now you have a great looking card and you have a cute envelope to mail it in. So you guys can do that. I also want to show you just a picture here that I did that hangs on my wall. That's the kind of the colors of my carpet. And basically it's the same thing as what I did here. It's all strokes you've learned. And I did that quite a while ago, maybe last summer. And I liked it. It's just an abstract of leaves and stems, and you can do that. So don't be afraid just because you're learning to not be able to make yourself some cute pictures. Okay, let's talk a little bit about cleaning your brushes. All my brushes are synthetic, so they're fairly easy to take care of. And we're going to load up a brush here. Let's just get some blue. All right, so we got a good amount of blue on it. We're done. We've ended for the day. Just swish it in water. Now what I tend to do is come over here and check it on the paper towel. Do I see any blue? And there's a little bit left blue in there, so now you can tell the water's getting blue. A little bit more. No blue. Now it looks pretty good there. Although it does look like I have some pink in there from last time. One more time. And that looks better. And you always want to then dry your brushes flat if you can. You don't want to go this way for the water to run down into the ferrule there. So keep them flat if you can. So I have mine over on my palette. I have a little soap pad underneath to keep them fairly level, and it works great. So I do have a brush here. I can find it, that I did not clean as well, and I just want to show you what happens if you don't clean it really good on here. Like, remember I did it again because of the blue. What happens is that when you wet your brush, it's going to reactivate those colors on there. So let's see if I can get anything out of here. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's an awful lot of pink on this one too. So you don't want pink showing up on your next painting. If you notice, the more I paint, the darker it gets. It's the water reactivating, and I left pink in my brush. So just make sure you clean them good till they come out clear on your paper towel. Like there, if you can see that again, not clean. So I might actually, you don't want to keep these soaking overnight because it can ruin your brushes, but I may let it soak for 2 minutes just to see if I can reactivate and get that paint out of there. So I want to show you an actual story. This one I kept for this reason, is that these stripes were not meant to be in here. It's that I let the brush dry, again, not getting it clean enough, and I put stripes on there. They don't look bad on here, but you don't want to do that. I did it one other time too, and it was like pink and orange or something, and so those stripes or lines on there did not match. So just take care of your brushes, make sure they're clean when you put them away, and keep them flat to dry. So the recommended videos for episode 3 are 5 of them. I know that's a lot, but they're all really good and I couldn't decide. So the first one is just basic watercolor brush strokes. Again, it's very good. It's a little repetitious, but it gets you in the habit of being able to draw nice lines and the curve shapes. The second one is by Imogene, and this is a little bit about water control again. And I know we had one last week, but I don't think you can have too many of them. The other thing it does is, I believe this is the one that looks at the color contrast. You paint your picture in one tone, and then you, on your camera or whatever you have, turn the saturation down till it turns gray and see how your contrast looks on it. So this is my picture. I did mine all in the pinky red tones, as you can see, and then the other side of the picture is with the saturation turned down. And there's a lot of variation, which is gold, have lights and darks and nice balance of them. The next one is the Beginner's Watercolor Guide to Brushes by Jenna Rainey. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but I would at least like to see you watch the first 5.5 minutes where she reiterates about how to take care of your brushes. The second part of the video is more about different types of brushes, and we will have a whole episode on brushes down the road. The next one is how to paint the 3 easiest loose flowers with watercolor by Imogene. And again, like I always say, even if you're not into loose florals, I wasn't to start with, trust me. They are good practice. They really are, but you're free to skip it if you want, but I would encourage you to watch it. And the last one is how to paint basic watercolor leaves. And some of that will come in handy. You've already seen some of it, but again, how to paint leaves, and you can frame your work or you can make it into cards and send them out. So I have one tip of the day today, and I just want to encourage you to save your work. Even if it's not the best, it's fun to go back and look where you started. And so that you can see progress. Otherwise, I was that way. I didn't save enough of my early works. But it is nice to go back and see that, I guess I have gotten a little better. Not a lot, but a little better. Next in the series will be an overview of different watercolor styles, which I've personally tried. I have my favorites, and you will develop your own favorites. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe below and give it a thumbs up. It helps support the channel. And if you want to be notified when the next episode comes out, go ahead and ring that bell. And as always, let's close with YaYa's Irish blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May your heart be light, your colors bright, and may joy and peace fill you with the beauty that you create.